Playing retro consoles and arcade systems on your modern flat panel TVs, well, you have about as many options as there are old consoles and old arcade cabinets. But there is a way that you can go ahead and do that. Well, there are many ways you can go ahead and do that. Some of them that are cheap and, well, they're cheap. Some of them that are budget friendly and provide an okay game playing experience. And other ways you can go that are just like really expensive but amazing quality. Now, you don't necessarily have to break the bank to have a really good time playing these retro classics. And the folks over at Evercade have what they think is their ideal way for you to be able to play great classic retro console and arcade titles on your modern flat panel TV. And that is the Evercade VS Retro Game Console Premium Pack. Now, this was sent to us from Ryan over at CastlemaniaGames.com for us to evaluate. Thank you, Ryan, for your support for sending us this checkout. I really do appreciate it. Now, this is going to be just a straight overview and unboxing. The reason for that? Well, we've actually reviewed this already. It's not live on the site yet. It will be live shortly. It may be live by the time that you see this as well. We were editing our video where we had our full overview, and I didn't want you all to sit through a 45-minute video for the unboxing and for the gameplay review part of this video. So we're pulling the unboxing out. It is going to be its own separate video. Gameplay will be its own separate video. Keep an eye on that. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. That way, every time we do upload new content, you are kept informed and up to date, and then you get to see our gameplay video that we have on it here. So the Evercade VS from the folks over at Evercade, and the cool thing about this is they have their handheld console, which is really, really neat looking. I don't have one myself. I'd kind of like to check one out. But the cool thing is it's actually compatible with the Versus here. You can use it as a controller if you would like to. The great thing too is the fact that the cartridges between this and the handheld 100% interchangeable, so you don't have to maintain two separate libraries. And talking about the libraries, there are some amazing titles in the library for both systems. Now, this actually does come with two cartridges right in the box. I was going to say two games, but it's two multi-carts. It does come with a Technos, and it comes with a Data East collection cartridge. And combined between both of them, you're going to get 18 different titles. They're great titles too. And the wonderful thing, if you want to expand your library on this, you can do so. And the multi-carts, they're not that expensive. You're looking $20, maybe $25. It's beautiful. And unlike, downloading a ROM or anything like that, you have a physical cartridge. You have the game that you actually own legitimately. Now, there are a number of games here as well that we're very thankful that Ryan sent us to check out. There's a lot of neat features on these too. Full color manuals, the fact that you do get beautiful boxes, beautiful box art as well. I mean, this is just overall a neat system. Now, let's go ahead, let's hit the photo bench, and let's take a look at this close up. So here we have it, the Evercade VS Retro Game Console Premium Pack. Now, they do have this as the Premium Pack. There's also another version that comes just with a single controller. I'm not sure if it comes with any games. This actually does come with two multi-carts, one from Technos and then one from Data East. You get 18 total games, including Double Dragon 2 and Burger Time. And there's more than 260 games available, sold separately. This is a cartridge-based system for up to 4 players. It has an expandable library and officially licensed. There are officially licensed titles in this expandable library. Let's take a look at just some of the games. So here you have Battle Lane Volume 5, Blockout, Combatitribes, Double Dragon 2, Double Dragon 3, Mania Challenge, Minky Monkey, I've never heard of it, Darwin 4078, Gate of Doom, Mysterious Stones, Bad Dudes, looks like this is the arcade port, Lock and Chase, Breakthrough, Sky Spy, Tumble Pop, Burger Time, Chain Reaction, and Wizard Fire. Let's see, on the side here you can see everything that is basically coming in the box. You get the console, 2 controllers, looks like a 1.5 meter micro USB cable for power. It's micro USB. 2 cartridges, 1 quick start guide. Games included, you get Technos Arcade Game 1, which we went over the titles there, along with the Data East Arcade 1. So you'll need a power brick and you'll need an HDMI cable. Good to know. So on the back here we have compatible with 25 different Evercade cartridges, Built-in Wi-Fi, up to 4 players. Did know that. Dual cartridge slots. That's one of the cool things, is the fact that you can have 2 cartridges in at one time. Features save states, retro filters, compatible with third-party controllers or many third-party controllers, so we can check and see how that all works, and then have a list of other games that you can add to your collection. I need to check this out because this thing just looks, I'm really geeked for this. This thing's pretty awesome. All right, let us grab our X-Acto knife, and here we go. Let's get that shrink wrap off here as I stab myself in the thumb. Just a general rule of thumb, no pun intended, it doesn't feel good when you stab yourself in the thumb with an X-Acto knife anyways. This is actually really thick shrink wrap. It's, well, it's kind of being a pain, but let's get this off of here. All right, there we go. We've got the shrink wrap off. Now, this kind of looks like it's a sleeve, and it's really attractive. I like this. Let's see. Yep, definitely slides out. It is just a sleeve. Ready to play together. I like that theming that they have on here. Oh, this is really neat looking. It almost reminds me that I'm looking at the face of a Nintendo Switch dock. So here's the system itself. That is in there really tight. Man, they really could have loosened this thing up a little bit. All right, let's pop this sucker out. Okay, now that we have that out, let's pull out the tray. Underneath you have the Technos and the Data East cartridges. Pop those guys out. Looks like there's 8 games on one cartridge and 10 on the other. I'll give you a closer look at those in a second. There's another tray here we'll pull out, and here are your controllers. This is all super tightly packed. You've got your power cable, your instruction manual, the other controller, which we're going to leave in there for now, just so we can kind of look over everything else for the time being. That's the console itself, very small. I dare say about, again, the size of a Switch dock, maybe a little bit taller. And opening up here, you do have the dual cartridge slot. This design actually really reminds me of the retro USB AVS, just as far as how much this opens up with your 2 cartridges and everything in here. So looking at the back of the console, you have your micro USB and HDMI output, and looks like this may be a reset button or something along those lines. I'll tell you, I'm really not a fan of the orientation of these ports. I kind of wish that they were 180 degrees around and that the wide size was on top and the narrow side was at the bottom with the micro USB. Kind of wish the same thing was the case there. Now the power button feels more like a momentary switch, like it's just push on and hit again to push it off. So here you can see the controller ports in front for player 1, player 2, player 3, player 4, and each one is labeled with a dot so that you can tell which controller port is which. And again, you do have the dual cartridge slot on here, which reminds me again of the retro USB AVS, just the overall design with that flap. Now the controller itself, definitely from initial glance, is inspired by the Super NES controller as far as 4 face buttons and the shoulder buttons. Now it does have dual shoulder buttons for R1, R2, L2, R2. I'm not sure what if that's a reset. We'll have to check the manual in a second. You've got start and select. Wow, that D-pad is really interesting. I would say more in the vein of like a Genesis D-pad. You kind of see how it's, you know, it's floaty versus a Nintendo D-pad, where it's basically just the membrane with the plastic around it. Don't know if I'm going to like this or not. Looks like it's about an 8 or 10 foot long USB cable for the controller itself, and then we have a micro USB cable for power. I would have preferred that they would have gone with USB-C. It's really a more durable overall connection, but micro USB is looking at, yeah, it's pretty thick. Looking at the quick start guide, yeah, that's a pretty quick start guide. Looking at it, yeah, that's a pretty thick quick start guide. I'll say it's probably multi-language. Let's dive into the English side. So again, it'll walk you through the dual cartridge bay, USB controller ports. There's the cartridge bays as well. Let's see, yep, confirm that is a reset button on the back of the system. You've got your micro USB for power, reset button, D-pad, menu button. I guess that is number 2's. That's your menu button. Okay, A, B, X, Y face buttons. How to play games on the Evercade. Now these are the 2 games that come, or the cartridges that come with it. It's the Technos and the Data East collection. So let's grab our handy dandy X-Acto knife again. Let's first of all take a look at the Data East cartridge. So peeling off the shrink wrap here. Again, all the shrink wrap is really, really thick. Was not expecting that. So good to protect the overall case quality here. Inside here you have an instruction manual. Let's check that out. It will walk you through the instructions for each of the games. That's awesome. It also gives you a little bit of information on the game, like the year of its release, the developer, genre, some facts. This is actually really nice. It's a good card stock on here too. And I really like the fact that it's kind of held in place in the side of the case, very similar to like what Genesis instruction manuals were. Here's what the cartridge looks like, and I like the fact that it has the Data East Arcade 1 on this side. I also think each cartridge is numbered as far as like which one it is in the series. I wish this side had a little bit more to it for the label, but we'll look at some of the others here. And in fact, let's take a look at the Technos one now. One of the things I like is the fact that you have really good games that would appeal, not just everything may appeal to everybody in these collection, but there's enough here that, okay, if out of 8 games I have 5 that I really like them, or there's 3, okay, I don't care for them, no big deal. And these generally run about $20, so it's a good value for what you're getting. And again, you've got this full color manual. Oh, I absolutely love this. This is wonderful. And now same thing on this one where, the arcade label is kind of blasé, but let's check and see what the fitment inside the system is like. So let's go ahead and we'll put the Data East one in first. So we're going to put the Data East one on this side. It's got nice slots to kind of align everything here too. Almost reminds me of like a Virtual Boy cart. If you look closely here on the cartridges, you can see on the Technos one here, you can see 01, 02. That is what is on the Data East. That is a bit of a tightish fit, not going to lie. Kind of like everything else on the system, the cartridge slots just seem really tight. So these are the 2 games that come with the system. I love the fact that you can basically leave it in here and you'll never know that there's a cartridge in here, or 2 cartridges in fact. But these aren't the only 2 cartridges that we have to check out. So everything I'm going to show you here, we were sent from Castlemaniagames.com. Huge thanks again to Ryan for sending us these, and they're going to be available on the website soon. So on the website right now, he has available the Bitmap Brothers Collection 1, the Atari Collection 1 and 2, and on these, some of these I'm going to go into more detail on just because I'm more interested in them. So on Collection 1, you have Centipede, Adventure, Alien Brigade, Asteroids, Missile Command, Crystal Cassettes, Food Fight, Desert Falcon, Motorcycle, Canyon Bomber, Gravatar, Double Dunk, Ninja, Golf, Steeplechase, Night Driver. Man, I played so much of that as a kid. Tempest, Video Pinball, Adventure 4. What's the difference between that adventure and the adventure? I'm not sure, but we'll find out. Yar's Revenge and Sword Quest. On the second one, you have for the Atari 7800 basketball. Then you also have Yar's Revenge. So Yar's Revenge, I think, is... But no. This is Yar's Return. So Yar's Revenge is on this one. Solaris, Centipede, Asteroids for the 7800. Demons to Diamonds, Desert Falcon, Haunted House, Sprint Master, Radar Lock, Millipede, Submarine Commander, Planet Smashers, Real Sports Tennis, Wizard, Air Sea Battle, Bowling, Street Racer, Dark Chambers, and Human Cannibal. So those are the 2 Atari collections. In addition, we also have this Codemaster collection number 1. And this is the Indie Heroes, and this has 14 games. And if you're noticing a pattern here, cartridge 1 had 5 games, 20 games, 17. This is 14 games. But wait, there's more! The Interplay collection. I love Interplay games for the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis. And this has, oh yeah, Clay Fighter, Earthworm Jim. It has Battle Chess, Boogerman, a pick and flick adventure, Incantation, and Titan. So perfect example on here will be Clay Fighter, EWJ, and Boogerman, 3 games. I want to play the other 3? Yeah, maybe not. But for 20 bucks, these 3 games alone are worth 20 bucks. And 6 games on that one. We have the Interplay Collection 1. We need the Interplay Collection 2 as well, don't we? And this has Claymates, Earthworm Jim 2, Clay Fighter 2, Prehistoric Man, Rad Gravity, and the Brainies. I've never heard of that. We'll check that one out. Now, the Jellicoe collection has got some amazing games to it. 10 total on here. We have Astyanax, Bases Loaded, Brawl Brothers, great game, by the way. City Connection, Earth Defense Force, pretty decent. Operation Logic Bomb, Rival Turf is an underrated beat 'em up. Super Goal 2, the Ignition Factor, totally rad. There's a convention that is pretty rad coming to Florida later this year, I've heard too. The Oliver Twins collection is an 11-game collection. This is one of those that Codemasters was the original publisher. I'm not really familiar with these series, but for 20 bucks, I'd be willing to check them out. And that has the Fantastic Adventures of Dizzy, Super Robin Hood, Wonderland Dizzy, Panic Dizzy, Go Dizzy Go, Firehawk, Professional BMX Simulator, Dream World Pogi, Ozzy the Adventurer, Mystery World Ozzy, and Treasure Island Ozzy. Now the Pico collection, and this has 20 games, and in here you're going to get Switchblade, Dragon View, Top Racer, Power Punch, which is the unofficial sequel to Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, Brave Battle Saga, 8 Eyes is a great game for the NES, Nightshade, Radical Rex the Humans, Dorky and YMP, Magical Girl, Water Margin, Run Commando, Draken, Tinhead, The Immortal, not the immortal John Hancock, the Power Pigs of the Dark Age, Canon Legend of New Gods, Way of the Exploding Fist, and Jim Power, The Last Dimensions. 2 more to go here, and we have the Technos Collection 1. This is one I am super looking forward to. So in addition to what we have on this guy here, which has Mysterious Stones, Blockout, we've talked about that a little bit earlier on this one. You get Double Dragon 2, River City Ransom, great game. Dodgeball, Super Double Dragon, Super Spike V-Ball, Renegade, and Crash and the Boys Street Challenge. I think that's like a sequel to River City Ransom, but I could be wrong. And then finally here we have the Worms Collection, and this is 3 games, and it's Worms, Worms Armageddon, and Worms Blast. So all of these are available at the time of this viewing through CastlemaniaGames.com for pre-order. They'll be available and shipping soon. All right, so going through the initial setup, one thing I will say at first, the power button, you don't just tap it to turn it on. You have to hold it down for a couple seconds, and then it powers on. So we're going to use English. Welcome to the Versus. Set up Wi-Fi. Connecting to my Wi-Fi now. My router is like 8 feet over that way, so it's pretty close. Connected. All right. There is an update available, so we'll go ahead and we'll process that pretty quick. This controller feels big and chunky, I will say that. And it feels thick this way and wide. All right, that went by pretty quick. It's going ahead and doing its restart now. So it's flashing the update to the system. All right, so let's kind of take a look at the different games on here. This is the Data East and the Technos Arcade cartridges. And I think if I hit A on there, what does that do for me? Nothing. So let's go to settings real quick. Display, you can do original ratio, pixel perfect, full screen. We're going to do original. And shaders and scan lines, subtle or strong. I don't like scan lines, bezels. You can do, neon. That's neat. Oh, I'm going to go with box art. I like that. Scan lines are going to be off. Okay, theme. Dark. Evercade neon or light. I like this neon look. Sound. You can adjust the background and sound effects. Network, I've already got that set up. Accessibility, language adjustment, system, we can check for updates, see if there's any others. Console is up to date. Factory reset, or I can map the controller. Legal, credits, secret. I don't know. We'll have to research that, but we'll go back to the games, and here you have Bad Dudes, Battle Lanes, Blackout, Breakthrough, Burger Time. I like the fact that this is showing titles from both cartridges in here, so I don't have to toggle back and forth. Oh, there we go. So that's showing all. There I can show Cart 1, Cart 2. I like the fact that I'm seeing all of them here. So there you have it, our unboxing of the Evercade Versus. And from a hardware standpoint, what do I think of it? We'll get to a full-blown review, like I say, in a separate video here. So I like the size. I really do like the size. It reminds me the whole concept reminds me, Retrobit many years ago had their Super Retrocade, and it had like 50 or 80 packed in games. It was a fun system. The problem is, because it was a non-cartridge based system, you basically were locked into those loaded games unless you hacked it, and Lord knows you could have bricked it or something along those lines if you didn't hack it properly. I like the overall size. The layout is nice, and man, I gotta say, I really like the implementation here on the twin cartridge design. We'll show you in our full-blown review, but the nice thing too is the fact that I thought that I was gonna have to toggle between cartridge A, cartridge B in the menu. You don't have to do that. It shows all the games, which is so nice. It is so convenient. I do wish that this were not a momentary switch, that it was actual, what do they call it? Single pull, double throw, I think is what it is, where you push down, it locks it down, and you push it again, it pops it back up. Beautiful LEDs on the front of here, which is really, really nice too. I do like the look of that. It's clean. That's the biggest thing, is it's very, very clean. Now, looking at the controller itself, definitely has kind of the Super Nintendo PlayStation 1 sort of vibe to it. It has the PlayStation 1 kind of shoulder buttons on here, but more the Super NES facial kind of layout on it. It's not terrible by any stretch of the imagination. The D-pad, I'm gonna have to see if I grow on it, because it's one of those things that, and I'm not the biggest fan of the Genesis D-pad, but this definitely reminds me a lot of that. Overall, you don't get a power supply in here, which, okay, fine. You just need a 5-volt 1-amp power supply. You should have that laying around from an old cell phone. And in addition, there's no HDMI cable included in with this. Any standard HDMI cable will work with this. Now, these are up right now for pre-order on CastlemaniaGames.com, at least at the time that this is going to go live. That may be available by the time that you see this. So make sure you head on over there if you want to check out not only the system, but he also has the games that we have here as well. I'm really excited for this. This has been, a neat system to check out. Tolerances are a bit tight, like on the cartridges. Man, that is a tight fit on here, but at least you know that it's not going to pop loose, although I don't know that that would be a huge issue. Connecting it to the internet to upload or download the new firmware and everything was a little bit odd too, because it showed update failed, but I was able to start it and showed the new firmware and everything, so I don't know. But overall, interesting piece of hardware. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, so that way when we do have our full-blown review showing gameplay, it's going to focus primarily on gameplay. You go ahead and if you subscribe, we'll send you out a notification when that does go live. Now, if you are looking for any other unboxings, controller reviews, since this does use USB controllers, you might want to check out some USB-enabled controllers to try with this. Those videos are coming up for you right now. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you want to help support Rock Solid Productions and be a part of our community, there's a number of different ways you can do so. First and foremost, join us over on our Patreon page or become a channel member here on YouTube. By joining through either one of those methods, you get early access to just about all of our video content, exclusive content, and a whole lot more. We also give you shout outs at the end of each and every one of our videos. You can also pick up some awesome Rock Solid Productions swag. We've got t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, and more available through our Teespring store on screen right now too. You can also pick up some of our awesome 3D printed cartridge stands, Amiibo holders, Nintendo DS holders, and more by visiting our 3D printer store on screen right now as well. Links for everything will be down below in a pinned comment. If you want to stay up to date with everything we have going on here at Rock Solid Productions, make sure that you're following us on the different social media networks. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/RockSolidProductions, Instagram at instagram.com/RockSolidProductionsGK, and Twitter at Rock Solid Studios. If you're looking to pick this and other retro and modern gaming accessories up, make sure that you head on over to CastlemaniaGames.com. He has a feature over there called Castle Cash, where the more you spend, the more you earn towards future purchases, and Castle Cash is just like cash. He also offers convenient payment plans for more expensive items over $50. Finally, make sure that you use promo code ROCKSOLID10 when you're shopping at CastlemaniaGames.com, as it can save you up to 10% on most items on the website. Again, thank you for watching this episode, and I cannot wait to see you again soon.